Miriam's here. Yay!
We are. Hooray. Hello, Miriam. Uh, Hello, everybody. All the people looking on the replay and everything. We are the Mad Scientists. I'm Mad Frankie. This is Violet Igor over here. Hello. And together we make the Mad Scientists, hopefully. Now, my internet, it seems, is cutting out a bit, so I'm sorry about that. But we'll see what we can manage, even so. So I've got a whole load of distress
Hi,
stuff over
Eddie.
here. And I've been labeling my oxides because I haven't before got very many oxides. I didn't really realize what they did. And I'd already sort of invested in a whole load of the spray stains, and I wasn't about to buy the oxides. I thought, oh, no, I've got a load of distress. I don't need any more. Well, I just saw Luise Heinzl doing a few videos. One in particular was swatching her distress stuff. If you've got a paint or I thought I'd love to do that. You know, I like swatches, and that was a really great idea, the way she was doing it. And I thought I'd love to do that. And then while I was thinking about that, I watched another one of hers, which showed what she was doing with the stuff she'd just swatched.
Hi, Paula. Hi, Ricky. Hi, Tracy. Fran, are you with us still? You're cutting out. We're not today. Well, I'm just saying you need to shoot the people at the internet provider.
Hi.
You're cutting out.
There.
We're here, but I'm hearing a word like every now and then I can hear a word. It's really bad.
Am I back? It's not, because it's not going to be much good if it's not working.
Hold on, everyone. Let's see if she can come back. And yep, I could hear her via StreamYard, but it's not just YouTube. It's also happening in StreamYard, which tells me it's her internet. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Hang in there. We're almost there. We're trying to get there. I sent her a message, so.
Hello, everybody. Am I back?
Okay, I see you and hear you. That's a nice picture, too.
Thank goodness for that.
Yep.
I got thrown out completely. I had to reconnect to the internet. I hope that's fixed it, but I don't know for sure.
Boy, you sound a lot better, too, so that's good.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad I could get back into the same stream. I wasn't sure that was going to work. So, right. As I was saying, I watched this Luise Heinzl video. After watching her swatch video, I watched the one where she showed what she was doing, making two journals at once. One a grungy one and one a plain one, as she called it. But I think I would prefer to go a bit more to the other extreme with the second journal. So I'm going to do the grunge journal first, or start the grunge journal. I've got lots of stuff ready to start with. But when I get to the other journal, I'm going to go more towards colours rather than browns and things. I like grunge and browns and rust and stuff like that. It's lovely. But I want to go to the other extreme on the other one. So that's what I was trying to say when they threw me out of StreamYard. So this is frayed burlap, and it's a new one to me, this oxide. I've not had it before, but frayed burlap is supposed to be quite good. So is brush corduroy. It's supposed to be really good. So I just daub this onto the ink pad, hopefully leaving myself just enough room to write oxide and the name on it. Although with this one, I haven't got the ordinary colour, the ink, but I shall have to get that sometime, I expect. So I'm just putting oxide.
Okay, we need to see more of your desktop of what you're doing. There you go. I didn't mean closer, but that's good. I just meant you weren't even on camera. There we go. Is that helpful, everyone? Yes, it is.
There we are. So I've got frayed burlap.
Hi, Mariah.
I've had the oxide spray for a while. I haven't got the ordinary colour of it, I don't think, or did it just fall over? No, I haven't got it. That was another reason why I like the idea of doing the swatch, because then you could see what you've got. I know whether something was missing or you've been using it on something and put it in the wrong place. Instead of going around and going, well, I don't know, have I got that or haven't I? And ordering another one and then finding the first one. So, yeah, I think making a swatch like that would be a very good idea, because that would stop that. So here I've got oxide frayed burlap and the colour. And what she did after she put that on was she got a little bit of water with the oxide ones, only on the oxide ones, because the others don't do so much. And just put a little bit of water on there, like that. And let it do its thing for a bit. And just let it dry. So I shall take most of the water off and let it dry as it is. See what happens. So that's that one. And I've got the colours here that I'm thinking of using. So frayed burlap is one. Now, she was very sure what she was doing right at the beginning. How, I don't know. But she just made a swatch for the journal. So she had the colours that she swatched out if they were on the pads. And if not, a little spray, I suppose. But actually on the front, she just had the pads on the front page. So she picked the one she had pads of for the front page. And the one she picked included, I think it was brushed corduroy.
Hi, Anne. Hi, Trish. Hi, Diane.
Brushed corduroy and ground espresso, which I do have. And you can tell this one's quite old because look at the state that's in. You can't even see it anymore. Good job I labelled it, isn't it? So I've now gone through and labelled, I think, most, if not all, of the ones I've got now. So we've got those two. Ground espresso brushed corduroy. I don't know that I should want that. I think I'd prefer to try the distress because I've not used it before. So what's this? Ground espresso oxide. Good.
I'm jelly. You have some beautiful, beautiful goodies there.
They are quite nice. And I'm thinking for the other journal towards things like Villainous Potion, you know me in purple, and perhaps some Twisted Citron. Ooh. And possibly a bit of Uncharted Mariner, because when I saw the swatch she made of the Uncharted Mariner, I just went, oh, yes. It was so nice. It was a lovely blue doing exactly what you wanted it to do. So perhaps we'll be using those. In the meantime, I've got everything stacked up here on the right. And I've got walnut stain. And I'm thinking I need something a bit brighter. So I was thinking something maybe like tea dye. Oh, there's tea dye in the oxide, which I've never used before because it's new. So we'll open that up. And I was thinking possibly something like Rusty Hinge, because I do like Rusty Hinge. And it's a good helper for the colours. But I haven't got to that yet. It's still in my box. But in the meantime, I've got the tea dye there. We'll try it and see what happens with tea dye, because I found tea dye in the distress quite pale. That could just be that was a dried up pad. So I don't know. I mean, I just thought tea dye, I won't bother with that one, instead of actually trying to get it to work. walnut stain, and tea dye. That's the oxide in tea dye. Might need that. So I've got all these things here. I'll show you this first, because this is what I was attempting to do with the rust, right? And you can see that I didn't get very far. Let me get the camera a bit further away. I've got some rust stains there. They do not show any particular shapes, even though I used round washers and screws and all sorts of bits. I didn't get anything in any particular shape, which is a shame. So I think, and that's the only bit that did. I mean, I had two pieces, well, one large piece folded over. I think I just used too much cloth at once, so I might cut it up and try again with a smaller piece. I mean, that's got something, but it doesn't do anything for me. So I would be doing the rest of this cloth again. So I'd probably cut it there and just do that bit. That's what I'll probably do. So I won't be using that today, because I didn't think it was much good. Now, what I've also got here to show you is something I liked putting into journals. And you know that I was doing a botanical journal, so I thought I'd better show you this. This, you know, everybody goes nuts about Edith Holden. And her stuff is lovely. But I looked at somebody who was talking about a different one by Janet Marsh. And I looked at the Janet Marsh one. It was okay. Yeah, it was possibilities. But I actually, while I was looking for the Janet Marsh one on one of those secondhand bookshops, I saw a few others. So I thought I'd get those. Now, this is one of them, Ireland, Diary of a Year on Easdale. It's an island. And this is a beautiful, beautiful book. You look at this. This is quite scratchy writing, but wait till we get further in. And there's chaffinches. That was Garth writing. Okay. So January. Look at this lovely, lovely writing. Doesn't that remind you of Edith Holden? This beautiful, beautiful writing. Isn't that lovely?
I wish I could write like that.
Yeah, so do I. I think it's it looks awfully like it's been done by hand, but it's possible that it's actually a created font.
Oh,
maybe Holden, I don't know. But this is just beautiful. Maybe it's just that everybody was taught to write like this in those days. Copperplate. Yeah. So that's possible. But this is such a lovely book. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful.
It looks quite Victorian.
A grey heron.
That's what it looks like to me. We have those up here.
Lovely. This whole book is like that all the way through. Let me show you page 103. I liked page 103 particularly. Let me just find it again.
This is one of those books that I don't want it as an ebook. I want it as a true book. I want to hold it.
Color in that lovely. That's just bramble. That wonderful, wonderful colors. Beautiful. There's a red start, ragwort, and the bramble. And I just think wonderful. Marsh angelica as well, and dandelion going to seed.
Okay,
but I love the color of the bramble. It's this beautiful color.
I need to ask you a favor.
Yes.
Read the stanza that's on that page on the right.
This is written by Garth Waite when he was a schoolboy. Autumn comes and with her snare catches trees all unaware, paints their leaves, then makes them bare with merry glee. Then the days much shorter grow, stronger, cooler winds do blow. Swallows o'er the sea must go to warmer lands. All the sky doth turn dark grey as she passes on her way. Duller then gets every day till winter comes. That's nice, isn't it? The one we saw earlier was from Sarah Coleridge.
The colors are beautiful in that.
And all these super drawings, super. Just lovely. This page here. This is a favourite one of my mother's, actually, this one. January brings the snow, makes our feet and fingers glow. Love that one. Then there's James Thompson, Robert Burns.
I love the colors.
Like
Love,
this part here. The
that's
north wind blown, we shall have snow, and what will the robin do then, poor thing?
a book
There's
like
more.
that would
There's
become
only a tiny
my
bit.
book like that would become my color box with the palettes.
Yeah. Isn't it just beautiful? So that's lovely. I loved that one. And another one I found while looking for the Janet Marsh one was this one. This is by Margaret Shaw. And let me just tell you, I mean, look at the front. Isn't that lovely?
It
Isn't
looks
that
like
beautiful?
something I have in an ebook.
It's it was hidden in a drawer for over 70 years. This.
Oh,
Just lovely. One spring afternoon, when clearing out old papers from a drawer, Sussex farmer Reg Pritchard found a pair of smallish sketchbooks beautifully bound in coarse linen. Despite the fierce sea breezes and salt mists of many coastal winters, they seemed to be in perfect condition, neither warped nor marked. Gently removing the old tie bands, he opened the sketchbooks, and what he saw was quite incredible. Reg had stumbled upon the discovery of a lifetime. Brilliant butterflies, songbirds and seabirds, plants and seeds, bees and bugs, teemed across the pages, each captured with the delicacy of a pressed flower. Here was Margaret Shaw's great secret, never revealed to him in the 15 years they had shared a home. So that's what they're saying about it. This is more bits about it, and we'll get to the actual thing soon.
tell me what the paper
There's
feels like.
creatures everywhere and so forth, aren't there?
What does that paper feel like? Is it?
It's quite nice paper. It's slightly thicker than your normal book pages. It feels
Hi, Teresa. Again.
it feels of a bit better quality,
Yeah.
like watercolor paper. Well, not quite. It's a bit smooth for that, but this is lovely. Look, Fernhurst, Sussex, October 22nd, 1926. So obviously she started on that day. And look at the lovely writing. Beautiful, beautiful writing. It's not quite the same as the one we were just looking at, but it's in the same sort of style. So this, the other one, and Edith Holden all have the same sort of round, lovely writing, you know? Look at that. Look at that. It's absolutely covered. Things that says things like owls have been very noisy at night lately, calling to each other on the hill and across the valley. A robin came chirping at breakfast time, and we threw him some bread. It was pouring with rain. He chose a large piece out of a puddle and carried it away to eat under the shelter of the little bush. He is first to come to be fed this year. A few days ago, a robin tried to hang on to one of the coconuts, but found he could not manage it. So it's lovely, isn't it? I mean, it goes on like this. This is 2 years worth. So one of the sketchbooks was 1 year and the other was another year. So they just carry on through the year. It's beautiful. I think it's quite beautiful.
I agree.
Isn't it lovely?
Yeah.
It was lovely. So, and then there was this one, The Wild Remedy, which was quite nice as well. But this has text, but it still has little drawings here and there. Only a few, not quite so prolific as the other one, but occasionally you get to the beginning of a month and you get all this photograph of all these different things. I think it's rather nice, this, rather nice. And of course, it tells you all about how nature mends us. So it's about things like, it probably got tisanes and things in it as well. I would expect that. Long-tailed tits. December. Fossils found at Walton on the Naze. It's just up from me, Walton on the Naze, not far at all. December.
Show me August.
Gather. Huh? August?
August. This is August. What do we see for August? They're not in order.
Yeah, August.
Oh, look at that. Oh, perfect.
Cow parsley germinates, sloes ripen. Found on Marslow's beach. Pebbles were returned.
Rocks and feathers and pebbles. Ooh, my stuff. And shells. Ooh, I like that.
Acorn barnacle.
Crab.
Yep. See, some pages there isn't really anything there, but then you've got that. Rock pool at Marlowe's beach.
Look at that color. Ricky says she ordered the Island book.
The Island book is really well worth it, I think. I love it so much. I've ordered a second one so that I can cut bits out of the second one.
Oh.
Well, they are second-hand books, so they're only about they range between different prices. I mean, on some places they're sort of 30 quid, and another place they're $5.99 or something. So it depends on where you look and where you can find them. This one is the Janet Marsh's Nature Diary, which is the one that I can't remember who it was who was showing it. It might have been Luise Heinzl again. I'm not sure. I've been watching a lot of her stuff lately. So this is the Janet Marsh one. There's a beautiful map here. Absolutely wonderful little map. Isn't that lovely? I think that's marvellous. I love maps. Absolutely love maps. I've invented maps myself. A watercolour of Sussex Village, Easton. It says. A ghastly spider. I would not be looking at it long enough to draw it. Look at that lovely lobster. Ooh, 2 of them, I think. Looks a bit like 2. Maybe not. No, it's just 1. Isn't that lovely?
Okay, you've given me ideas for sketching, more sketching. I've been doing that. These are great. Just simple little things, not major scenes or anything. I like that.
I like that page.
Me too.
So immediately cut this one out to use. I like that. That. Isn't that lovely? Sorry.
Skeletonized leaf.
Exactly. And those lovely feathers.
Mm-hmm.
The buds of the seed head.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she is, Anne. She's back to tempting us with these books. I just found that one as an ebook.
But yes, you try and get it as an ebook. This is just a twig with lichen on it. It's wonderful drawing.
Teresa, I was showing Fran my sketches earlier. The light in here and the lightness of the sketches done with the pencil, they're just not showing up well on camera. So it would be a strain to try to actually see them. So
I'm going to try and cure that while I let you look at that for a second.
Okay. So I really don't. I mean, I have, here's the page I've been working on, doing water splotches and doodles on it. That's the most extensive thing I've done the last few days. Yeah, she's got that little bit of a cough. She's okay.
Yeah, it's the same cough as I've always had. It's just
Yeah.
brought it out a bit more.
Yep. I would love to. I mean, that page right there alone is so, the colors are just beautiful. I love them.
Lovely. This is all lichen here, you see. Bracket fungi and lichen, lichen, or lichen if you prefer. Lichen, lichen.
Oh, that's like if I went for a walk with Sharon in the forest in Oregon where she's at, in Washington where she's at, I'd never come out. I'd stay there with my paper and pencils.
Yeah, it
I,
is lovely, isn't it?
yeah.
A grey squirrel. Dandelion. Now that's a dandelion and a half, isn't it? Wonderful.
I'll try to get pictures and send them to you, Teresa. Looks like water sage or something over there.
Water moss.
Yeah.
And that's water snail. I
Oh,
like that. That's lovely. That little old wheel there. I'm not sure if it's a cartwheel or what. What is that?
I'm not sure. There's a bird on it too. So I don't. Oh, is it like a bird feeder with corn cobs on it or something? I don't know.
No, it looks awfully like the handles of knives. I've
Mm,
no idea.
no idea either. I
It
just like
doesn't say
all the
anything in
colors.
there either, but it's interesting. Lovely things. Yeah. Look at that lovely nest. Isn't that beautiful? As a deserted nest of a song thrush found in a holly hedge.
Eddie said a soil tiller and Paula said a stream water wheel. Who knows?
Well, it doesn't look quite right for a stream water wheel. I mean, that's looks a bit more water wheely, but these knives sticking out, they don't make much sense. I don't know.
Hi, Beth.
I just not sure.
Hi, Lydia.
Lovely catkins everywhere.
Yep, like those. Oh, that's pretty. I like that.
That's nice, isn't it?
Yes,
All the
fall
different things
favorite
going
time.
on with leaves. But I mean, you can. We can't sit here all day looking at it, but you can see how nice that is. Janet Marsh's Nature Diary. But I still think that this one is one of the best I've ever seen. That and the one that's called The Island on Esdale. I think those two are the best I've ever seen. I mean, really. I love these capital letters here and there as
Mm-hmm.
well. And the art in the island is just
And
beautiful.
it must be a British publication because I'm not finding it anywhere over here.
All right. Cresset Press, London, Sydney, Auckland, Johannesburg. Mainstream Publishing, Edinburgh. I found this all over the internet. This one was available in lots of places. It says printed and bound in Singapore.
Well, I look at the my library and then the archives first.
Now it goes London, Edinburgh, Covent Garden, London, Australia, New South Wales, Auckland, New Zealand, South Africa, British Library cataloguing and publication date. Printed bound in Singapore. There we are. But there's some lovely things in this. I mean, all over the place. So much lovely stuff. Look at all that. Beautiful birds in the snow. Reed bunting. And snow buntings. And just lovely. Just beautifully done. So well observed, you know. Gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a sea urchin. It's just one of the nicest things I've seen. I love the colours in it because it's not all green and brown. It's lots of other colours as well, like this beadlet anemone. I think it's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm just so struck by this one. I just keep looking at it.
I like it
It's
that it's
beautiful.
looking at that. You're very calm and you're not coughing.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. That April with celandines and everything. We get celandines here as well. Simply superb, lovely and beautiful. Oh, brittle stars. And then that cheeky little red squirrel. You don't often see the red ones. So nice. They've got such nice tufted ears, the red squirrels, haven't they? Look at the lovely colours in that. Beautiful. Very well observed. I mean, it's just an utter joy, this book. An utter joy.
Hi,
There
Kat.
we go. I'm stopping now. So let's get back to normality. So let's go
Yeah.
from one extreme to the other. And I'm thinking of using this. I called it the condemned set, which is not what it's called. It's called field notes. But I call it condemned because it's the biggest word. I thought, I can't find my condemned. I put it on my list. Find condemned. Searched a bit more. There it was. I like it because it's got so many different things here. Like you've got something that says specimen. You've got something that has a little bird on it. You've got a little flower there. And you've also got numbers and shipment and agent and numbers with no particular specific meaning. So you've got lots of things to decorate journals with, which I really like that idea of. And so what I've been doing is I've been using some embossing folders. This one, have I got it down here? I thought I had it down here. Let me see. No, there it is, right in front of me. I'm not looking straight. This one. It's hard to see because I've painted it with white gesso, but it is there.
I can see it.
Yep, yep. So that's what I used on this one. And I used it twice. I used it once there and then again to get it continued. My idea with this is this is the front page of a journal. And that's the spine. And this extra bit here is to attach to the back. Yeah? So you put another one there.
Mm-hmm.
I made this from a box of tissues. So I cut out the good bit, the piece I'm always using, the side piece, and part of the other side where here that becomes an oval where you take the tissues out, you know, like this. So what I've got is that, right? So I just need to do the same thing with this one and I've got the other side. See? Or even with slightly less of it to get the other side.
I can just picture you pulling all the tissue out just so you can have the box. And Ian goes, I need a tissue. Where are the tissue?
Yeah. No, it's all right. We got lots of them. And this one, it's obviously was a Amazon package. And when it arrived, I saved it and I found it in a pile a little while back. And you can see that it's got 3 lines here. They always come with 3 lines. One there, one in the middle, which is where it sort of folds, and then you've got that bit going over, you know, for where the glue goes, and I've ripped the glue off. And then you've got another one this side. So you've actually got 3 lines here. 1, 2, 3. So what I want to do is reinforce this so that actually I've got that, and that becomes the spine. You see, so if I reinforce that where that's bending, then I've got a good big journal. Okay. Apart from that, I've been covering loads of bits, and I want to start doing things with these. So I've got this one that's got, I was thinking to use this bit, right? And I mean, I know I've gessoed this bit, but I'm thinking to use that as the inside and perhaps put something else on it, or perhaps just try with the distress stuff we've got here and see what happens with both sides, just to find out. Let's get that out of the way.
Thank you, Paula.
And move my gesso for the way. I've got to order more gesso now because I've nearly finished that pot. And I've got various things I've done. I mean, you remember this was part of a envelope, but it had sticky along here. I've got to be careful of the sticky. It doesn't seem to want to come off. So even though I've gessoed it, it's still very sticky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put something there, glue it down. After all, there's sticky glue. So that will be solved, and I can use that how I like. I can either use this like this as a stamp, or I can use it as an insert in a journal, an extra piece, a pocket, just something for texture, anything like that. And then I went mad doing all the other embossing folders I've got, or some of them. And this one, numbers, obviously. This is on another bit of a Kleenex. You can just see Kleenex. So the inside is much better. The inner part of the cardboard is much better. So I can use that and cover the inside with something else, and or I can use this side. Either way, we'll, as we say, as I said, we'll spray it and see what happens. This is not from a tissue box. This is actually a tin of Budweiser. Was. And that's using the cobblestones one. Was it the cobblestones or was it the reptile? I've got cobblestones and reptile. That's wood. It's another one I did. That was a Fanta can. And this one over here. What's this? Oh, that must be reptile, because this is the cobblestones.
There you go.
There you go. And that's the way up that the cobblestones would be. And that's the other impression. I quite like that as well. Nice. And I have a few more here, where I also did a Kleenex box with the dots, the new dots one I got. That's quite nice. Can you see that?
I can see it. I have that one too. I remember.
Yes, good. That one. And I did it on a can as well. So I've got both options. And there's the other half of that, this thing. The other piece of the little mail envelope thingy. Also, I've got the remains of a piece of drawing paper here that I can now use. So I can add colours. That hasn't got any gesso on it. And I've also been looking at, in my stock, my stash. And here's a small part. There's more over there, but here's a small part of some of the things I found. This is a very old gel print, one of my earliest ones. And I copied it, scanned it and copied it. I think this was using the printer, not the one we've got at the moment, the other one, because it's come a lovely bright colour, and the one we've got at the moment just doesn't. So I've got some rather nice gel prints converted. That's an actual gel print. This is the copy, but I had also gone over them, you see, and used Posca pens to create this result. So I didn't want to have to do it all over again. So I copied it so that I could have lots of sheets showing all the different bits I did, you see. So there's that. All these different ones. And here's another one, which was a slightly different themed colour. I quite like that as well. So fair few of those. This one is actually the trimmings off the edge of the prints that when I was using some of it for something else. These were the bits left, and I just stuck them all down on a piece of card. So I've got each one of these is an actual piece. So there we go. I mean, it's that or weave it together. And I thought this might be a bit neater for this one. And here's some more pieces I did for when I was doing inchies and things like that, and 2 inches, twinchies, whatever they call them. So those are possible. I'm not sure. Possibles. So we've got those. And then I found these, and I thought that was a really nice one. It's been used for butterflies, but that's a nice one. That might go with the Villainous and the Uncharted Mariner one later. This one will go with this one now, the grunge one. And that actually might even be using the oxide sprays a long time ago, to think of it. This was done using inks, alcohol inks. I'm pretty sure that's alcohol inks. So, and I've got these other pieces that are not got impressions on them. They're just plain pieces that I've already gessoed a different time. And I've got some coffee dyed papers over there as well. I'm going to have to do some more coffee dyed papers. I'm running low on those. So let's have a look and see what we can find out these will look like when we actually do some spraying and so forth. So we'll move all these out the way. And these, I'll take the holders with me so that we can get at the actual sprays. So I want to use ground espresso for a start. And there's the oxide one. I want to try that. I've got tea dye there. And what else can I use? Oh, I was talking about rusty hinge, wasn't I? I'm going to have to divvy for that because it's in the box over there. But what have we got in the meantime? Vintage photo is quite nice. And I did want to try, that's the oxide, tea dioxide. I must try that one. Vintage photo. And the oxide there. Well, there. So we'll start with this piece of paper, and then I want to try with some of the others. Now, the tins I want to use sprays on, but I can use some of this sort of stuff on other things. And to do that, somewhere over here, I've got a dabby tool thing. What do you call it? A dauber. A dauber.
A pouncer.
And also stamps. Yeah, one of them. So let's have a look at the tea dye. We don't need that one. That one's done already. We need an under one, this one. So I'm going to have a go with Vintage Photo Oxide. There we are.
That's nice.
Let's see what that does. That's got quite a good amount of colour in it.
Yes, it does.
I mean, I've only put it on once and it's coming out beautifully.
Hi, Christy.
Right, and the tea dye oxide. I'm going to try this.
Oh, Paula wants to know if you can whip it out, your aged mahogany.
I certainly ought to, wouldn't I? Because I wanted to do that in the other.
There you go. That's what I was concerned. Was it even a handy dandy? Thank you, Paula. Nice suggestion.
I can get to it. There's some other things on top, but I can move those down. This is the tea dye one. There's not a great deal of difference in colour. It's a similar tone. It's slightly pinker, but it's a quite similar tone to the, what was that, Vintage Photo, isn't it? I mean, look at that. It is quite similar.
Oh, Patricia's here. Hi, P.
Hi, P. So, tea dye. Tea dye. Let's try with the oxide spray.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of sprays, Pete, but I really love these colors. I like the she's going grunge,
Mm-hmm.
which I like always. Not gothic.
No, so I've got to keep these separate. Right, I'm gonna just can you just hang fire for a moment while I take things off the box so that I can get to the aged mahogany and the rusty hinge.
We
Okay?
we got it. We'll just hang five and we'll just talk amongst ourselves and say hi to Patricia
Okay, do that. I won't be able to hear you because I've had to take that off because otherwise I can't
while
reach.
she goes finds that mahogany. Ooh, Christy took her first walk outside. Is that for Fran, Patricia? Just give me a nod if it is. She said I sent you a yogurt aluminum top with a cow on it to go with the cream box. Hmm. Hi, Tracy. You all are so kind to be here with us today. And all the thumbs up. Thank you, P. Yes, for Fran. She's over there. She'll be back in a second, and then I'll repeat that to her. Paula wanted that aged mahogany. There you go. Me too. Uh-oh, my husband's home. I hear the garage door opening. Here comes the whirlwind. He's supposed to be bringing me a big pile of tomatoes from his coworker, and I'm going to make some tomato pie with feta cheese and onion.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, I have to tell you what P said if you didn't hear me. She sent you a yogurt aluminum top with a cow on it to go with the cream box.
Oh, sounds intriguing. I look forward to that. So I've got the aged mahogany there, managed to find that, and I've got the rusty hinge in the oxide, but
Ooh,
I
I
didn't
like
get the
that one.
rest of it. I've got a spray of rusty hinge somewhere, but I couldn't find it. So, of course, when you're trying to get back to things, you don't spend long looking. But rusty hinge, slightly orangier. This is the oxide, of course,
Yes, it is.
but there's the aged mahogany, the ordinary.
Well, that explains why Paula likes it. I like it too. I think it would be.
Mm-hmm.
You could put some up
Aged
there
mahogany.
at the top. It would go really well with that top bit.
Let me try this without getting any on there.
Overspray.
Hang on, it's the oxide, so I've got to shake it up. That's the oxide. And this, can you see what a lovely colour? Ooh, that's why I like it.
And what was that one?
That's both aged mahogany. Aged mahogany distress stain and aged mahogany oxide.
Good
I love
call,
that.
Paula.
Lovely, lovely. I'm going to put a bit of water on here as well. Because I want to see what all these do.
Hi, Julie. Fran, is this watercolor paper or just
Watercolor paper.
okay.
That's very nearly a pear.
Better than the one I drew. And you were going there, weren't you?
Accidents are always better than the things you try.
Yeah. Okay, Christy
Same
wants
with mine.
to know the two sprays that you use, the two aged mahogany. What's the difference between the two?
One's the distress spray stain. Yes, spray stain. This one, and the other is the oxide spray. So you can see that this is a lovely dark colour, and this has all these muted tones in it. When you start adding water to it, other things happen, but you don't you don't always see it until it's dried. I think that's a lovely combination, actually. I'm really liking that. Yes, I really like that. So I think I'll do some more of that with some of these, right? This has got to go away because this is for the blues. If I keep it there, it's going to get stained. So I'll probably have to do a whole load more of these because I just like the impressions. So let's try with that side. See what happens with the two. So I'm going to go. Now, what were we using? We were using tea dye, ground espresso, and vintage photo, and brushed corduroy, as well as the aged mahogany, right? So we've actually got quite a lot there, but 1, 2, 3 are oxides. One is the normal spray stain. I could use the oxide for that as well, but I don't want to. I want to use the spray stain. So we'll move this out of the way to dry. And we'll have a go with this one. So we've got vintage photo, the ordinary dark vintage photo, right? And we've got the brushed corduroy. This is the one that's an exciting colour. You wouldn't think it to look at it, but it is. I've been watching Luise Heinzl using this, and it is amazing. There's blue in here. You wouldn't think it, but there are bluey greys in here. I can't wait to try this one. Got to make sure it's completely... Can you see the colour go in? Yeah, mixing nicely. Lovely. Let's try a bit of that now. Lovely. And I dare say we'll end up with this paper being usable as well. So that was brushed corduroy. So I've used those two. And ground espresso is a very dark colour in the original spray. But this is the oxide. I didn't shake it. Oh my. Terrible, terrible.
So Patricia says, I'm sorry guys, I had to go grab the tomatoes from him. Patricia says, if you want to knock back the red, add some green gold.
I don't. I love the red. I love the red.
Get some sponges ready for mop up. Yeah, she usually, when she uses spray, she has her table covered in plastic. So a little
I'm
disorganized
not doing
today.
it now. No, I'm doing it because I want colour on here.
Aha.
Because I want to be able to. Because Luise Heinzl was, I'm following Luise Heinzl madly. But when she was doing it, she brought out a piece where she'd used as a backdrop when spraying on. So I just thought, oh yeah, and I must have a bit of this in there. Must have a bit of this in there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now I'm going to tip it over on here because I want some impressions on there. And no doubt we'll get some from the back as well. And then I'm going to spray with some water.
Oh, I love it.
I dare say we could also use Villainous Potion, but it's such a dark colour. I'm going to wait until I've got some lighter colours to go with it for the other piece. So I want some lighter blues, like Salted Ocean or something like that. And the Twisted Citron is a lovely green. So I'm going to put something else on top of here. Now here I have a bunch of tissues, napkins. And these are the pieces from the napkin. The second sheet, you can just see a printed pattern on there, but it's so faint that I'm going to use this as a mop-up. So I'm going to get another piece there. There we are. So that's a beginning.
There's some nice suggestions. Colleen says Tim Holtz puts out a wonderful video if you want to know more about oxides with paint. And Mariah,
I did.
Mariah says Christina from Pages from an art journal does awesome work with sprays and inks. Hi, Evie. I already said hi to you. Hi, Evie.
So I'm going to add a little bit of this. Just a tiny bit. I don't know. And wipe its nose with that. And a bit more brushed corduroy because I just like what it does. And a bit more water. Actually, I'm going to splottle the water on.
So these are all water-based. These are not ink-based.
They're all water-based, yeah.
Yep.
They're all, Distress is all reactive. Unless you get the archival, Distress is reactive with water. So there you go. That's that. So that's brightened up a little bit because I soaked up a lot of the ink off there. So I'm going to heat this. I'm sorry, but I've got to heat it.
Does everyone else think like me that maybe we should remind Fran to use latex gloves before she starts doing all this? Then again, I like to see her colorful hands. Who was it the other day who had colorful hands we were in the room playing? Evie, was that you with the colorful hands? Yep, that was you. Oh no, I'm not reading minds today, Fran. You're talking. We all visited the other day and Fran couldn't talk, so I was reading her mind and I was spot on. Not today.
Yeah.
No. Today you talk.
So you can see where the the brushed corduroy has been working. You can see that little tiny bit of blueness there from it. And I'm loving the way that the aged mahogany is working. I did not know so much about that. I mean, I did watch Tim Holtz when the oxides came out. I did watch him talking about them, but it just didn't gel with me that time. I was probably particularly poor at the time. So
Paula says she leaves her oven door open and puts hers by the oven to dry as she has no heat gun.
that's a
I'm
good one.
loving the embossing folder you used on this is just perfect for what you're doing.
Yeah. It's got that sort of industrial vibe, isn't it? And I
Yep,
wanted a more sort of industrial vibe.
yep.
I've got some great stamps for that as well, which wouldn't work on this because it's too bumpy now. Well, I don't know. It might do. Might work on the other side. I think that's dry enough that I can set it aside to complete drying and it won't hurt anything. So I'm loving that colour. Absolutely loving it.
It's a
That's the
keeper.
best I've seen for a long time. So
It's with an embossing folder. It's not braille paper.
now it's an embossing folder called Dotted. One of
Yep,
Tim Holtz's texture fades
yep.
called Dotted. So that is lovely. So what should we do for the next one? This one has got numbers on it. We can do both sides of that. Picking up some of the colour from there, yeah. There's also bundled sage. I'd like to do a little bit of bundled sage. I mean, I don't want it all the same colour, but I do want a similarity going on. So let's try the oxide of bundled sage.
Yes, Patricia says using the concave side would allow for the ink, the sprays to go into the depression. Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds good.
choose the other side, that side.
That sounds good.
Yeah, well, we can do both sides because we can use both. You can use one piece there, another piece there, or you could use that as a cover for a journal like that. Either way. Now, bundled sage. Right, bundled sage. And brushed corduroy again because I do like what it does.
And I'm sure Paula's going to yell it out again. Villainous violet.
Yeah, that's for the next one. That's not for this one.
There you go. Hold your horses there, Paula. We're getting there.
So I've got vintage photo there, and I still want some more of that aged mahogany. I do like that. Ground espresso. That was the other one I wanted. I don't know if I've got ground espresso in the spray.
You know, I often wonder, do you pick your colors by the color palette or do you pick your colors just because you like to say the names of them?
Yes and yes. There we go. That's ground espresso oxide. I don't think I've got the other one. I thought I did have, but I've got it in the pad. I don't think I've got it in the Dujima walnut stain. I've got walnut stain, a lot of walnut stain, and weathered wood. I liked weathered wood when that came out. I really did. Walnut stain. So, and I want a little bit of the aged mahogany in the. I think I might want a bit more of the bundled sage as well. Well, I'll put a little bit of this over here. There, and a little bit there.
Exactly, Diane.
Why? What have you done? What have you done?
She says you can't reach through the screen. I'm safe. Nah.
Yeah. Why is she safe? Why can't I reach through the screen? You know, I mean, what have you done that I'd want to?
I think it's to Colleen, not to you. It's to Colleen. Talking about Colleen needs to do videos.
I like that. Now that still goes with the other one, but it's different.
Okay, so what is Evie saying? Emboss the paper, heat emboss the raised areas, and then in spray. It's amazing.
Sorry, what was that? Emboss the paper, heat emboss the raised areas.
And then spray them. Hmm.
Heat emboss, what with?
Hmm. Um,
I'm going to dry this and then add more water afterwards.
Patricia says that bundled sage is working as a neutralizer for the pinks and reds. Good
Yeah.
jobbers.
Uh-huh.
It does though, doesn't it? It ooh.
Right. I'm going to turn the noise off.
What she means by heat emboss is embossing powder. And then spray.
Yes, I understand what heat emboss means, but what would you heat emboss with? You know, which embossing powder? What were you thinking of?
Embossing powder and a heat gun is what I was talking about. But Evie, she wants to know: is there a specific embossing powder? There you go. See, I eventually I can read her mind again. Then I get a thumbs up. I love this one. That sage just moved really well into the others and
Doesn't taste as good as our soup.
Oh, Evie, we have to get in the room and you can show her. We have to get you a better camera set up, Evie. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love that.
Thought I could talk again, forgot to press the button. Yeah, so now what I want to do is get this and do some more water on it.
So these are all pages for our grunge journal. Just so
Exactly,
everybody,
yeah.
yeah, up to date on why she's doing these. She's inspired by Luise Heinzl, and she's going to be creating a grungy junk journal type thing. And she watched the videos that Lise put out, and she felt that she wanted to take it a step further, or at least a bit further than she did. So this is Fran's take on it.
I really don't see that I can take the distress any further than Luise Heinzl did.
No,
She did a magnificent job with that, with the grunge journal. But I just felt that I wanted to go a bit further on the opposite. So although there's a lot of colour in here, I want to go to more colourful colours, like the Uncharted Mariner, the Villainous Violet, Villainous Potion, beg your pardon, and something like Twisted Citron, which I think is going to be the beginning of a nice palette. I'll probably add some more to it. I might add some of the Lost Shadow, which I only bought because of Luise Heinzl.
Well, if anyone's interested in what videos Fran watched, um, it goes back about 6 months. You'd have to go back in her videos about 6 months to find the one that says two junk journals. Hi, Carrie.
Yeah, she's done about 14 videos on that. So I'll keep you occupied for quite a long while. I haven't watched them all yet myself. I've got up to number 6, and it was at number 6 when I started to get itchy fingers and started to go, I got to do something with this. So, but the thing that started me off was she did a couple of I think up to 4 videos about creating distress swatches.
Watches, yes.
So that it showed everything she had, and I thought, what a brilliant idea! Because a number of times I'm sure I got a distress in this one. Haven't I got a distress in that one? Haven't I got the oxide in that? Or actually, I only had 5 oxides, so I had not bothered with that much at all, and that was only in the pads. I had a few more in the sprays, but only not in the pads. So, and I have other things. I mean, she's got some other things as well. Like, for instance, the distress paint. I barely used those. I wanted to find out more about them. And when I saw the swatches she made, you could see she had one little file folder for each one. And it was practically just sort of 4 sides of those pages, because she did it like that, you know. So she had the oxide spray on the front, because that was the first thing she got and the thing she liked most. And then she had more things here and here and there. And then when she'd run out of room, she made little pieces, you know, to clip on the inside. Like, for instance, a piece like that with a different colour on, and she would label each one so she knew what it was. So that could be the paint, for instance, or it could have been the distress oxide re-inker, because they all seem to react slightly differently. So that's really what's so interesting. Now you can see this. You can see the spots where the water went. Yes? It gives a lovely effect. Absolutely lovely. So that's dry enough now to put aside to dry some more on its own. And let's have a look at some of these.
And it's funny you're talking swatches, because Carol McDonald, the Canadian artisan, she was just doing swatches with her watercolors, and she used a Rolodex index cards. She would, you know, do swatches of the watercolor and glue it to, or tape it to, I forget if she used glue or tape, to an index card. And on the back side of the index card, she put what it was and everything, and then she put it in a Rolodex. I mean, like, that was just flipping through colors. I'm just saying, very cool. Nice and handy dandy.
That's tea dye again. So I'm keeping to the similar colours, if I can possibly manage it. I don't need that at the moment. Tea dye. And a bit of the aged mahogany in the distress stain. Now I'm trying to do a little bit with that because we haven't got much room here. Bundled sage again. Shake it first. I don't think I'm going to be able to stream next week, as I've got my daughter, my youngest daughter, and her kids coming down to see us for a couple of weeks. So I can try on the Friday, but it depends really on what it's like, whether people are occupied with something or not, you know. So I might be able to do it, and I might not. I wouldn't like to promise and then not be able to.
Yeah. Okay, so your internet is degrading again, severely degrading, no. And you're knocking out. So just to put you on the alert.
Mhm. So if I disappear, I'll try and come back again.
Yes, everybody hang in there.
Well, you can do the same sort of thing with inks and with acrylics and watercolors. I'm pretty sure. You just make them watery enough. Acrylics can be watery enough, can't they?
Yes.
You can just dribble them on using a pipette, like that. You know, pick up some of the colour from your palette and just dribble it on. So you can get a similar sort of action going.
So Carrie says your internet, the issue with your internet may be because of the weather today.
Could be. Yeah, well, could be.
I mean,
Espresso.
we've
I
already
didn't use
lost her
that.
once, Carrie, so I hadn't thought
Yeah.
about the weather being an issue. I'll have to go look. Oh.
There we go. I'm just going to
Oh yeah,
let
you've
that
got
drift a bit.
pain in the butt weather coming at you.
I
You'll
like
have
it to go all around where it can.
you'll have some storms hitting you later this evening.
Probably.
Yep.
So always something comes along to spoil things, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I wish we still had cable. We used to have cable with who was it did cable? Not Sky, something else.
I'm gonna say about 6, 7 o'clock tonight you're gonna have some storms.
I think I need a bit more of that mahogany. I don't think I've got enough.
6, 7 o'clock, that's right now.
Well, no, ours 6, 7 o'clock. So in about 4 hours she'll see some
Uh-huh.
storms.
Water. So let's get some water and do the same thing that I was
And
just talking about.
Miriam's over there in Israel and says it's past 10 p.m. and she's melting. It's so hot.
It is still quite hot here as well. Not as hot as it was earlier in the day when I was hunting for things, but that's the way it goes. Bundled sage. Bundled sage in the oxide I wanted. I did have a little bit there, but it's disappeared.
We're under watch because we've got the Canadian fires. The smoke has just enveloped our state. So
Oh,
I've had
dear.
to step outside a few times to refill the bird bath, but I'm not staying out long.
Now this is metal, so it may dry quite quickly. Or it may not. Isn't that amazing how different that looks to that? And it's similar colours, similar if not exactly the same colours.
Right?
I don't think I used the brush corduroy this time on this one, but so similar.
So Carrie says, Fran, if you want to see
Yeah.
me use inks, wait for this month's hop tutorial. I got messy.
Okay. Oh, good. I like messy. Can you tell?
Not bad today. Not bad.
I haven't finished yet. I think you've got to be wary of with metal is it does stay hot, so it bubbles up. And you might not want that. I'm quite happy with this.
I like it.
Right, I'm going to try a bit more water to see how much is still wet enough. No, I think that's good. You've got to be careful picking it up as well.
And I like that you use the concave side, the
Yeah.
back side. Really like the
Well,
way
I can use the other side as well.
yeah. I just like the way it sits down in there. Griffin Shale. Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda.
It's not the end. It's not the end. Somewhere in the middle, I hope. Or 3/4 through.
Let's Dry off the water, which it doesn't particularly seem to want to. Creates a bit of fire when you put water on the aged mahogany. A little bit of fieriness, I think.
Agreed, Carrie. Carrie says, remember, it'll be my kind of messy, which may be too neat for Fran.
Could be. So that's rather good, though, isn't it? I do like that. I'm going to go over it with a tissue, just to lighten some areas a little tiny bit. Not much. That's about it. I like that. I got a nice little bit of dark there and a little bit of dark there. That's good. That's very good. So that's those three.
I think it seems harder for me. It seems like it would be harder to do a smaller piece. That's like a postcard size. So it would be harder to do to get colors down on a smaller piece because of the spray, you know?
Yeah, to get the variety, you've got to be gentle with the spray.
Yeah.
Now, the way to do that is by holding the sprayer as you push down. So you don't let it push down too much. You sort of, stop it. Yeah? So you hold it to stop it.
Yeah.
Making it grungy, but still. Yes. So let's do another one. I think I need to do a bit more to this one. It's a very nice pair, but it's not really what we want. So I think a bit of dusty concord in here. I do want these edge bits done as well. Oops, it's coloured the labels. Oh well. Bundled sage, a little bit of bundled sage in here. I'm liking the bundled sage more than I thought I would. That's a spray stain. Bundled sage, oxide. Right, get it to move a bit. Spray some on. I want a bit more of that mahogany to get that to work. The oxide one, I mean. Yeah. Get it to move a bit more. Come on, move, you little devils. I tell you what, best way. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Let's do that again this way. Oh, yes, that's got more movement in it, hasn't it? I like that. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, I do like that. Oh. Right. Gotta capture that now. Capture it.
Okay, Colleen.
So
Colleen's
feigning.
gonna go. She has a second batch of canning in for processing. I'll tell you what, this guy over here brought me some big, juicy, red ripe tomatoes that I'm going to make tomato pie. And then he brought a bag full of cherry tomatoes that I'm just going to sit and suck
Eat.
up like they were chocolate candy. They look so
Lovely.
good. And on top of that, he brought home some sweet corn for his dinner tonight. Mm-mm-mm. Fresh veggies. I love it. This one needs something.
Well, they're all going to get something later.
Okay.
This is not the end. This is the beginning. Right?
Pie. Tomato pie is a southern thing, Abby. Are you kidding me? It's you take a mishmash of tomatoes, heirloom tomatoes, big boys, girls, whatever you want, whatever your tomatoes are. It's kind of like whatever's hanging around. And so you get your pie shell pre-baked, you know how you do that. And then you get your tomatoes and you chunk them up, break them up, put them in a strainer and let them sit for like an hour so they strain all that extra water off. And
I've
then
got a question.
what?
Oh, after you're finished, I've got a question.
Okay. And you grill up lots of onions. Grill up a lot of onions, saute them up, make them soft and everything, and set that aside. And then you mix some Duke's mayonnaise with some cheddar cheese and mix that all up good. And I don't have all the dosages in front of me right now, but you mix that up and then you make layers. So you layer tomatoes, onions, Duke mayonnaise, cheese mix, tomatoes, and then of course there's always your seasonings in there, which I like to use oregano and Italian seasoning and basil. So I have a basil plant outside. I'll pick fresh basil. I love that one now. I'm seeing it the way you turned it. Yes. There's no eggs. So there's no eggs in it. It's just you just keep making a lasagna of it until you get to the very top. You've gone through everything, and then you put a pile of onions on top. And I hope I've got all the steps. And then bake it in the oven for like 40 minutes, something like that. Not very long. Um, it's really like really, really good. And it's a southern recipe I found a while back. And I make it now without the crust. Because I don't care for pie crust. But I'm sure you could use pre-baked, pre-made pie crust. I think is what I used.
You used it on crescents before.
Yeah, I've used it on crescent rolls, or you could probably use, yeah, roll out the crescent rolls and lay them down in sheets as the pie crust. So, what's your question, Fran?
You know, there was a film called Fried Green Tomatoes.
Yes.
What did it mean?
You don't know?
No.
All right. First of all, if you're a fan and I say Tawanda, you know what I mean.
No.
Well, let's just say to battle.
Okay.
One of my favorite sayings. And fried green tomatoes is an actual recipe of fried green tomatoes. You bread them, fry them, and eat them, and they're excellent. They're green tomatoes
Okay.
before they ripen.
Are they a special variety of tomato, or are they just the same ones but caught before they stop being green?
I guess it depends on what you like. I've always grown big boys and better girls brand type of tomatoes. So I guess it depends on what you like. If you have a favorite, Carrie knew what fried green tomatoes are. He says they're a delicious food. Evie says you can use any kind. I would say any kind you like.
But Kerry's a chef. I was never a chef. Kerry's a great cook and into all that kind of stuff. I just I only ever made things that I could force down the kids' throats. No. I mean, I was quite good at some things, but having to stop eating a lot of the things I liked, I've stopped cooking. Really, I just don't bother.
I don't blame you there. It's hard. Except I don't eat a lot of meat. I seldom eat meat, and yet I make him meat every night.
Hmm.
So, but I eat the
I'm sure he
veggies.
hates that. Ian would not hate that at all. Ian would be, oh, okay, right. Just these three to do, and then I think we'll start with something else because I particularly want to use condemned.
Okay.
Only not the word.
Yep, it was for us, Evie, if the tomatoes, if the first frost was coming, the end of the season, we would hurry and pick the green ones and wrap them in newspapers and put them in a brown paper bag and put them in a cool place to finish ripening. I didn't know about fried green tomatoes when I was younger, that young. So I really didn't know about them until the movie came out, and it's like I've had them multiple times since then, and they're delicious.
And the movie really isn't about fried meat.
No, it isn't. That's just yeah. It's about Tawanda.
Okay.
And I also love to I like to grow my own, which I don't have a garden this year, but I love to grow my own Roma tomatoes. And then I put them in the oven. I slice them, put them in the oven with olive oil and Italian seasoning on them. Put them in the oven for like at 200 degrees Fahrenheit overnight or for hours just to let them dry out because I don't have a dehydrator. And
Hmm.
then I basically dehydrate them and put them in Ziploc bags and store them in the freezer. And they're great munchies if they last that long.
Hmm. Sound nice.
Hmm.
Tomatoes are one of the few things I can still eat.
Hmm.
Let's try that.
But you don't have to use Roma. You could just, slice a tomato and put it on some parchment paper, spritz it with
What's
olive
Roma?
oil and Italian seasoning. And um,
Is Roma a type of tomato?
yes, it's
Ah, I've
less,
not seen it in this country.
yeah, it's less
Lovely.
juicy. It makes a great sauce, but it's less juicy than regular tomatoes.
Hmm.
It's a small, elongated type tomato. Very good.
All right, plum tomato.
Mm,
Yep, Italian plum tomato.
okay, there you go. Italian plum tomatoes. Tomatoes.
Hmm.
Potato.
Yes, Ricky, I
Add
agree.
a bit more.
Ricky says when you make the fried green tomatoes, use the green that are just before they go pink rather than they're full on green. I
All
think
right.
I think if they're full on green, there can be a bit of bitterness that some people might not like. Yep, I was right, Evie.
Now you could do this similar sort of thing, only with a stamp. If it wasn't a bubbly surface like this. Oh, I love that. Isn't that lovely?
Hmm. And you did all that on such a small piece. That's what I was watching.
So it is passable. It's a nice thick bit of card. That's the thing, you see. It's a really quite thick piece of card. It's chipboard. I would call chipboard or grey board here. It just gives a straight pattern like this a bit more interest to do something like that.
So initially I was gonna say, Nate, tell me the colors that you're using, but you've been naming them. I'm not writing them all down. We've got the
They're
video.
the same. there. Vintage photo, bundled sage, more vintage photo, the distress and the ordinary one. Brushed cordial, I've been using that quite a bit because I really like what it does. And it turns out the bundled sage is quite good as well in that. And the mahogany, the aged mahogany ones.
I meant
The one,
I meant all throughout.
ground espresso was the other one.
Yep.
Oh, and tea dye. I did use tea dye occasionally. It's almost a little sort of orangey pink, almost a peachy colour. That's not what I call tea at all. Lovely, lovely patterns on this one. Do some more on that. I only found this one piece. It was just lying about and I didn't know where it was from or what it was for or anything. I just thought, well, I can use that. So I did. What happened to the little thingy piece? I had it. Oh, there it is. That piece. I want to do a bit on that as well.
Everybody's talking food now. Terry says he loves fried zucchini fingers for dipping. I love, and my dogs loved it too when they were alive, the sweet potato fries.
Oh, yeah. I can. Sweet potato. No. Butternut squash I can still eat in moderation. You can make chip shapes out of that. And they sell them like that over here.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll have to try that.
Yeah, you can. You know the ones that are sort of crinkle cut. They can do those. Interesting. So I want to do this little one. I love that. That's really great, that one. I might do some more on the other side. I'm not sure. Funny thing about that tin is it dries really quickly. So, right. So, sage. I want to do some bundled sage. And a little bit of this, but I'm going to dribble it on instead.
Paula wants to know, can you eat sweet potato?
No. It's even worse than ordinary potato. Because it's got extra sweetness, you see. So, yeah, no. And I'm just using 3 on this one. It's such a small thing. I'm just going to spray it with brushed corduroy. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, you very little room there. That's almost like a piece you
that up there.
Dip in leftovers.
There you go. That's
very
what
nice.
That's very nice. So I'm going to heat that, and then I'm going to put a little bit of water on it, and that'll be that for that one. So it's just a complement to some of the other things, you know. I can't even remember what I used to cut those holes. It's definitely made by me for something. Can't remember.
It seems to me you were looking for shims. You were looking.
That was probably meant as a sort of decoration with the large eyelets over the top. And I've got a feeling that on one of them I just cut the holes a bit too close together and I couldn't quite get 2 eyelets next to each other. That could be what it was from. It's a possibility. Now, water. Lovely. I think I want one more there. Get one there. Yes. Right. Heat that.
Well, you're just going to have some yummy scrappy paper down at the bottom too.
Yes, exactly. And I could no doubt spray that with something else, and
Hmm?
or some of the same colours, and do the same thing. I mean, if I move that out the way, I can even get rid of that white square. So it's a good starting point doing something like that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And using that piece as well, because it's in the same colour ranges. So it will go quite well with everything. I'm really loving this choice of colours, you know. I didn't really know what it was going to do. So it's all been done sort of blind, just choosing some colours I liked and with some idea of the calmness connected to the zowies,
Mm-hmm.
and worked out really well. And the bundled sage has worked out a whole lot better than I had any idea it would.
No, that seemed to to what P said back there. It neutralized those reds, those harsh reds, and that it really brought
Yeah,
them down.
I would think of it as balancing them.
Okay.
That's the thing I felt, you know. But it means the same thing. What P said,
Yep.
neutralizes. I think neutralizes sounds a bit more like it turned it all bland and nothing was happening. But if you say balances, you can see that the little bits of green. Maybe I should have a bit more green in that one, but I don't know. I quite like it as it is. I like it as it
You could
is.
just use your pull your sprayer out and just put a drop or two down if you wanted to do that rather than spray.
Yeah, that's an idea indeed. In that area where there isn't so
Yeah,
much going.
right. Be a little more specific. There you go. I think it's been a great success today. I think you've gotten just what you wanted.
Exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Better than I expected as well. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I do like it a lot. Now, what I'm going to do next, I'll just finish this off and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do next.
And I'm going to warn you that we're an hour 42 minutes in. You've done really well.
But like I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to do a live next week at all. If I can, it will probably be on the Friday, but I'm not sure.
Well,
My daughter arrives on the Monday and she'll be here for 1.5 to 2 weeks.
yay. I
So,
think a good summer family vacation is in order here.
yeah,
Yep.
there we go.
And you sound so much better today. Doesn't she?
Yeah, I do feel better.
Evie and Trish and Kirsten were in there with us, and you couldn't even talk. You could barely say a word.
Yeah, well, I could say some, but it was really rough and it hurt, and I wanted to save my voice for today, and it seems to have worked out quite well.
Okay, Christy.
Right. So what I'm going to do next is it involves just a moment. Let me grab
Oh,
something.
wait, there's more.
I've also got all these old papers over here. I've got loads of papers like these, which I think will go quite nicely with some of them. That's going to go with the villainous potion, and the Uncharted Mariner one. I think that one.
So
And
you've got about 15 minutes left. Do you wanna keep going or what?
And then there's, I'm just saying what I've got. The tea dyed pages here. Sorry, coffee dyed, because I went a bit mad with the coffee. So some of them quite dark. And that's coffee and blackberries. I did a lot of blackberries. I might have some more this year as well. Again, more papers with that. And I've also got these, which are the
Coffee filters.
from doing the inks. So I've got various ones of those. That one is going to go quite nicely, I think, that particular one. And this one, possibly. But I think they can all do. If I want to use them, they're all in the right sort of area. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And also, I've got, I want to do some stamping. So like with Condemned, as I showed you before, which I probably just put it down somewhere. Who knows where. But I've also got, just let me reach these. These over.
Liver and onions. Mmm, good stuff. Oh, you have enough?
So I've got some butterflies, and there's a dragonfly there. So it's only sort of one or two out of each bit. So it's not all of them. There's some nice letters there. I like these. I like the 15 cents, and this one's quite good too. And there's some various beetles and things. More beetles and butterflies, etc. I'm not sure about that one. But there's the one with the butterflies in a strip. And there, I do like those. I seem to be going all nature-y. Well, that's what's on my brain. But the condemned one, I think, goes quite well with these as well. So picking bits out of some of these to put either in the forefront of the page or at the edge, just creeping around the corners, you know, like with the condemned one. I wanted to do that, going around the edges. And of course, I've no idea where I put that flipping thing. It's around. You've seen it once anyway. So it's probably over there in with the other stuff. So that's what I'm planning on. Whether it turns out that way, we will have to wait and see. But that's my plan. Okay. I think I'm about done. I'm starting to cough a bit more again.
Yep.
So let me bring back these so we can see what we've got.
Okay. And then I will come back. I want to see what you've got here. Yep.
So we've got some rather nice.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think you big success today. You got just what you wanted.
Yeah, it is quite quite dark, all of these. So I would like to do some more that are paler. So I wouldn't be using this one in the next lot because I think that's okay. But if I keep doing that, it's going to be too much. Yes, I've got to stop now.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
So
there we go.
Enough.
Okie dokie. So let's say goodbye for now. And then I'll have a drink of my tea and cough a bit. Bye-bye, everybody. Here we go.
There we go. We're in there.